Let's see if... Oh, it looks like we got something now. Maybe? Let's see. How about now? I think I maybe got it. Too loud, not loud enough. All right. Cool. We're back. Sorry about that. I don't know why it was all sorts of messed up like that, but I can't really complain. We are live. Thanks, Ambrose. So, I want to know what you guys think. To be honest, I'm kind of shocked where we're at right now. It shows Trump at 150, according to Fox News. If we look at CNN, shows CNN at 139, Clinton at 104 right now. And this is supposedly live. It's supposed to be kind of updating on its own. As you can see, even when I do it, nothing. So seems like Fox is updating a little bit quicker. Looks like some surprises so far. Connecticut, who else? New Mexico went to Clinton, which, to be honest, I wasn't really sure how that was going to go with Gary Johnson being the former governor there. Seemed a little strange that way to see it kind of lean Clinton. But Texas, that's good to see, went to Trump. That's pretty normal there. Again, no big doubts in New York. Illinois, it looks like as well too. So what are you guys thinking? I mean, you like where your person's at? You happy with Clinton where she's at? You happy where Trump? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. To help pass the time, I am enjoying a nice Paulaner Hefeweizen straight from Germany. So it's good stuff. We have some people saying they voted Trump. And yes, there is no spam in here. That's good. I don't have a moderator, so I'm surprised we don't have more people kind of coming in here and spamming it, but can't really. Let's see. When does the election results come in? Well, that's a good question, High Mind. The election results will start pouring in typically when the polls close in their respective state. For mine, Minnesota closed at 8 o'clock, so an hour and 8 minutes ago. We should start kind of seeing results probably closer to the 10 p.m. time, depending on if there's any issues with any paper ballots that need to be counted or electronic issues that way too, as we've kind of heard from some of the other states that way. So East Coast, that's kind of why we've kind of see it progressively move from the east over to the west. Otherwise, the states that really aren't that close, the North Dakota, South Dakota, kind of more of whether they're leaning far left or far right, their results will be known a little bit sooner. And the closer states, though, like Florida, Georgia, states like that where they're kind of battleground states, those will take longer because the counts all need to be tallied up and they can't really call it for Trump or for Clinton at this point. So yeah, thanks for joining. It looks like we have a total of 27 people watching now, 26. Yeah, we go up, we go down. Oh, let's see. No, just automatically updated, it looks like. Any other questions or anything? Ooh, 28, we're looking good. Somebody texted me, I'm not sure who this is. They asked me, will there still be hockey if Trump wins? Yes, it'll be the greatest hockey. It'll be the hugest arenas. It'll be huge. China will come and bow down to all the great hockey players in the state of Minnesota. No, I yes, of course, there will still be hockey if Trump wins. So We'll just have to wait and see how it comes out that way, though. Sparkles 8. I am good. Nice to meet you as well. Thanks for checking in. Yes. If Hitler gets in, I don't know. It's basically going to be like another Bush, honestly, is my interpretation of it. I think it's going to be a Bush 2.0. We're going to see a lot more wars. Russia will be one, I think, that we might kind of push some buttons that way, and not really too happy about that. And Assad, too. That was her number one idea, was we need to get rid of Assad. And I'll show you that as well, too. The news article I was talking about. Hillary says number one issue is Assad. I don't know how to spell Assad. Let's see. I suppose if I actually... Let's see. This news article is talking about how back in 2013, this came out of WikiLeaks too, one of her speeches to Goldman Sachs, I think, don't get me wrong, talked about how they understand that she wants to put this no-fly list, or no-fly zone over Syria. And unfortunately, many Syrians will die from it, because when they go there and they try to clear out the zone, many unintentionally casualties will take place that way. So, Assad, dude. I'm sure she'll say Russia. Thank you, Robbie, for throwing the curveball on that one. I'm glad we have everybody tuning in that way. Still no updates. It looks like Hillary's kind of closed the gap a little bit. Trump has actually kind of widened the lead on the popular vote by a little bit. 30,127,519 to 28,989. So he's got about a 1.2 million overall vote lead. And to be honest, I will give you my thoughts on how I think this is going to end in the long run. The states that Hillary has needed to win, she has won. The states that Trump needs to win, he has not won yet. And I think that if Hillary can steal a Florida or a battleground state like an Iowa or Ohio, that's going to push Hillary over that 270 electoral votes that are needed to clinch the nomination. So I don't know. I have a feeling that Hillary will probably win by about 30 votes in the end, but that's just my thought. I didn't think Trump would actually be giving her this much of a run for her money. And to be honest, what I personally think is that Hillary Clinton is the second least desired candidate for office, and it's shown in the numerous times in the past that she's run. She's not successful, she's not likable, she's a career politician, and she's not going to deliver any change. She's been on both sides of the coin on every single topic you can come out with. Hillary is a career politician that'll do whatever it takes to sell a person or country out to make a buck, or 300 million plus, whatever they're worth now. Trump, on the other hand, is a loose cannon. He's not someone that you know what you're going to get out of. I don't really know what a Trump presidency would look like. We're going to find out, I think, what a Hillary presidency is going to look like, but I want to know what you guys think. You guys have any links to any other live updates or anything other than CNN or Fox? I know those are kind of the mainstream ones per se. They seem to be updating the fastest. Hillary is so corrupt and all of America is, that's why she will win. Yeah? I agree with you. Oh, hold on one second. Hello? Yeah, possibly. I don't know who. Oh, really? Yeah. Play what? Oh. Oh, yeah. Did they really? Oh, see, I didn't know he found him. Okay, well, we'll have a talk with Mark tomorrow and we'll get it straightened out. We'll figure out who it was and we'll go from there. All right. 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 No, I know what you mean. I gotta go though. I'm in the middle of the live stream. No, and let me know. Text me too. Let me know if you text me and let me know if you figure out who it is too, and we'll straighten it out. All right. Thanks, Louie. Bye. The perks of live streaming. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. To be honest, I didn't vote for any of them. Trump will build walls around his towers. If she gets in, it'll be 9/11. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Blue Sardex, I agree with you. I find Hillary, for some reason, she just comes off as a lot more hawkish, to me, a lot more pro-war. Her statements are just very concerning when it comes that way. Trump, again, is a loose cannon. He could say something that might piss off a country, but I hope that he has enough cabinet people around him that will stop him from doing anything too stupid, at least that way. Electionbettingodds.com. Melt Lone Star. War Hero Production. What part of Donald Trump is corrupt? And I'm just curious. I'd like to know. And I had a conversation similar to this before too, on how a lot of times they're talking about Donald Trump doesn't pay his fair share of taxes, and he doesn't pay some people when they do crappy work. But to be honest, a lot of these things, Hillary and Bill Clinton back in their day, they helped some of these bills pass that allowed Donald Trump to not pay his taxes on many things. Does it make it right per se that the rich can find all these loopholes? I don't know, because for me, I'm about lower taxes and paying less into the government at a federal rate. There's definitely places where I find my money is a lot better allocated, like locally, for local projects that I'd want to see done or have done. I think that's a lot better of a location for my money to be going towards compared to on a federal level. What does Trump want to do about people on Social Security disability. Last I heard, he wants to keep it, but Hillary wants to increase it. To be honest, it's one of those where our leaders have been kicking the can down the road even farther and farther for the next generation to fix it. Is it fixable? I honestly don't think so. I think that eventually they keep robbing Paul to just basically make sure that we get everything taken care of, and their programs are paid for and funded, so they're going to steal from here to move the money there, and in the end all they're doing is shuffling the chairs on the deck of the Titanic, because to be honest, there's a large bubble that is going to be popping soon, and I think that next one is going to be the education bubble. There's more and more people that aren't able to pay their student loans. They're paying this for 20, 30, 40 years, and it's crippling their ability for them to actually go to school and come out with a good 4-year education without having 100,000 plus in debt. I think you have to be signed in, Rick, in order to comment. But can you see the comments at least? Luis Marshall. Trump won Florida. They just won't call it yet. What is CNN saying? Let's see. Can't even find it on here. Oh, here we go. It shows, okay, that's good to know. Trump at 49.2% of the vote. Clinton at 47, Johnson at 2.2. So Florida looks like it is leaning Trump. 95% of the votes are in. And it looks like Trump has about a 130,000, 125,000 vote lead right now on Clinton. Wow. That surprises me a little bit. That is why I voted that the college students can get a break. Yeah, Sparkles, I agree. It's one of those deals where college has become so unaffordable for people. You go in, some people do 2-year degrees, they go to a tech school, they come out. Even those people have $20,000, $30,000 in loans that they have to start paying back the second they graduate or have to drop out. The people that are going to 4-year universities, you're looking at 50, 60, 70,000 for just like a general standard state school, compared to the people that are going to even the harder to get into. Yes, some people have, I guess, scholarships or some type of grants, but private schools, they don't have to give out scholarships on a lot of things like that in public aid. What's Donald's plan if we attack is to crutch up and hide in a corner, because that's what's going to happen. Oh, I apologize, War Hero. What's Donald's plan if we are attacked? Is it crutch up and hide in a corner, because that's what's going to happen? So you're asking, if the United States is attacked, what's Donald Trump's reaction going to do? Is he going to just kind of hide and sulk? I don't know. I don't see him being that way. I can see Donald Trump going huge and going all out against them and really trying to take the offensive move back towards the people that attacked him. So let's go to this. Can I go to full results anywhere? They're talking about Florida here. I wonder what that green, if that's Jill Stein. It looks like it. So it looks like shows the candidate leading on popular vote. All right. Minnesota, yeah, that's kind of what I thought it was going to be. And Minnesota is leaning 54.9 for Clinton and 37.3 for Trump. Iowa, which this doesn't reflect what I thought I was going to see. From everything I was hearing, Trump was leading with a decent margin actually in Iowa. Now they're showing Iowa, it's only 17% in, but they're showing a 58.8 percentage for Clinton right now. Colorado, Wyoming. Yeah, there's the independents on that one are pretty big. Shows Clinton is winning Colorado with about 63% in. She's got about a 90,000 vote lead on Trump in Colorado. Ohio, it looks like they gave it to Trump. Trump came in at 58%, Clinton at 37%, so that's good. Good. Not that I'm picking or choosing. To be honest, my vote in Minnesota went to that area right there. I don't know. If I had to pick one of the two to go in, realistically, I'd probably go with Trump, just because we know the things that Hillary has done, had done, and probably will do with Trump. It's a little bit more of a wild card, and I think he would be more of a populist president, where he's going to try to do more of the things that are popular, try to get ratings up. Is that always good and correct? Absolutely not. But I think that Trump is probably going to be one to not really go to the fringe left or right. My thought on why I voted for Gary Johnson, Minnesota, is because my state, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Minnesota has gone blue since about in the 1980s when Nixon won it last, I think. But ever since then, the Democrat has won Minnesota. So my thought on voting Gary Johnson in Minnesota is I wanted to help try to raise the third-party candidate to a 5% overall nationwide vote, to try to get them some public funding and some better abilities to get them into the limelight and a little bit more just vision out there, because there's not a lot of exposure for these third-party candidates, and I'd like them to have a little bit more of a chance to get on that debate stage and show the world that there's not just a Democrat and there's not just a Republican, there's that other choice out there too. You don't have to fit into that mold of being an R or a D. There's many other options out there. So, Pennsylvania is looking like it's going towards Clinton at about 51.8 to 44.9 Trump, about 48% reporting that way. It appears Arizona is probably going Trump. It's a little too close to call, though, that way. It's about a 30,000 result lead. Any shockers out there for you guys? Right now, Trump's up 168, 131. Let's see what we got here. What about Oregon? Let's see what we got going on here. It's too early for that, actually. Everyone on the West Coast, they have until 10 p.m. my time, so the polls close in about 30 minutes on the West Coast. Trump leading New Hampshire. I believe you are correct here. Have they called this yet? New Hampshire, Trump is leading. Oh, didn't mean to click on it. 48.8 to 45.7. Not very many electoral votes coming from there, but every vote counts. You never know when you're going to need it. Slowpoke, I agree. What boggles my mind even more now is that there is actually people that are the Bernie Sanders people that were so diehard Bernie and anti-Clinton are coming together now and forgetting that Bernie Sanders multiple times said that, you know what, him and Hillary don't really agree on very many issues at all. And yet they're willing to hold their nose and vote for Hillary. That to me is not showing somebody with a whole lot of principles. And this whole election has shown that a lot of the people out there aren't voting on principles. They're voting against someone instead of for someone. And that's really a sad state that the United States is in, that we are voting against people, not for people. Why aren't we talking about the good qualities of Donald Trump or the good qualities of Hillary Clinton? What can she or he do for us instead of what will this person do to us, not for us? I don't know. To me, it's not the way that I was hoping we'd be seeing presidential elections go, but that's where we're at. Iowa. Iowa is not good if you are a Trump person. Iowa is about 36.8% Trump, 58.3%. It's only 18% in, but it definitely has changed quite a bit more than what I was projecting it. From what I saw earlier today, it might have been a different time, was that Wall Street and some of the stocks were going up from Clinton coming in. I'm guessing some of the futures and some of the stocks that will be traded tomorrow definitely is going to be dropping if they're seeing Trump kind of pulling away. As of right now, it's still very close. Trump has opened up about a 1.5 million voter lead on Clinton right now. And this is... I'm reading some of the comments. There's a riot where I live right now. War Hero, where do you live? Down in Texas. What part of Texas? It looks like capital city, okay. Let's see. I'm from Minnesota, from Fergus Falls. So let's see what some of my local results are looking like. Polls closed about an hour and a half ago. Fergus Falls, Minnesota election results. I think it's a little bit too late for that. That's not what I was wanting. Let's see. City results. Mayor of Battle Lake. We're not looking Battle Lake. Let's find Fergus Falls. Deer Creek, Den, Terre Haute. Here we go. There are no results in yet. So we'll just have to keep that up here. What else we got trending right now? Donald Trump at 168. Hillary at 131. So he's opened up about a 37 electoral vote lead. Married life is good, Luis. I've been married now a little over, God, I think 3 years coming up. So it's been going good. Thanks for asking. Thanks for tuning in, Rick. Where do I predict California is going to go? California will go to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, the Democrats have won California for many years, and I don't see it changing anytime. That's a big one. Trump will probably win Arizona. He's probably going to win Florida. He's going to win Georgia. It's close in North Carolina. A big one is Pennsylvania. He's closed the gap a little bit in Pennsylvania. Michigan is closer than I thought it was going to go. Wisconsin going that way. Minnesota is going to go to Clinton. Maine is something I actually didn't think was going to be going that way, but Clinton is looking better in Maine. New Hampshire, Trump looks like he's pulling that off. So honestly, Trump is still in this. Utah is absolutely insane on how many people are not voting for the main people. I mean, 51% for Trump and 22% for Clinton. So it's kind of interesting to see some of the leads that way. All right. No little Matts running around. No intention on having little Matts run around for another 2 years. Remember, some of these states are small and little people, so this election might have a twist and Hillary might pull through, but not jinxing anything. That is why you really need to look at the Electoral College, what each state is worth for vote-wise. If you look at Minnesota, we're worth 10, while the neighboring states, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, barely exceed us in Minnesota for the Electoral College. Idaho's at 80% with, 1% reporting. 81.3% for Trump. Very good eye on that one, Luis. I didn't see that one. That's kind of funny. So they are starting to come in slowly but surely. Nevada, I think, is going to be interesting to see how that one comes out. Utah, again, that looks like it's going Trump. New Mexico went Clinton. Colorado looks like it went Clinton. Let's see. I don't know why they're holding on to Florida so much. Florida is going to be that wild card. If Hillary wins Florida, I think you're basically done right there for Trump. It's huge. Whoever carries Florida and Ohio, Iowa, states like that, kind of these battleground states, really has a huge influence on winning and losing, unfortunately. I agree, Elise. It's a lot of these people, honestly, and myself included, I did not give Trump a chance to actually stay with Clinton on a lot of this. But you know what? This shows how unlikable Hillary truly is. There's no amount of disinformation ads that she can kind of spin out there to keep everyone's attention off the WikiLeaks reports on all her emails, the Podesta emails. Hillary is a very unlikable person, and a lot of people are holding their nose that normally would vote straight party Republican. They're actually having to hold their nose because of how repulsive Hillary truly is as a candidate. Well, thanks, Liam. I appreciate you tuning in at least to check it out. Not all of us have the luxury of not being truly affected by the election results. Let's see what we got. Yeah. Isn't that magical, Luis, how they just find these votes all of a sudden? So we're 168 to 131. 167 to 122, according to CNN. Key races right now. We're looking at Arizona. Trump's winning there. Georgia, Trump's winning there. Nevada hasn't really shown yet. Ohio, Trump has clinched that. It appears, it looks like. Virginia is clinched by Clinton. Colorado's in the air still, but it looks like Clinton's taking that. Clinton's probably taking Iowa. New Hampshire looks like it's going towards Trump. North Carolina looks like it's leaning Trump. Utah definitely going to Trump. Michigan is a tight race, but it looks like it's going Trump. Florida is outside that 1% margin of error right now for Trump at 49.2 compared to 47.7 for Clinton. I will be on here for probably, I would say another hour and a half probably. I'm curious to see the West Coast states start coming in. Nebraska went Trump. Yeah, it looks like they just clinched it that way. It looks like 54.8 for Trump. That's another 4 votes that way. I think they must have called that earlier, though. What do we got going on? They're still saying Florida is too close to call. Man, look at that map. What do we got going on in Florida? Florida 49.2. They're still showing 95%. Trump 168. Clinton 131. According to Fox. Yep, that's what I got on here too, Slowpoke. CNN is looking 167 to 122. 167 to 122, so they moved that up. Popular vote. Johnson actually got 2.3 million votes so far. Stein 613,000. McMullen 155,886. Trump's leading by almost 2 million votes right now in the popular vote. Everyone's giving me a hard time. All my friends are texting me saying you look like you're a drunk on here. What did I say yesterday? That anyone that joins me has to bring some type of beer or drink of their choice while watching this, so we actually get the full effect and enjoyment of watching the election results come in. My choice tonight, a Paulaner Hefeweizen, straight from Munich, Germany. Florida is Trump. They're just afraid to call it. Arizona's leaning Trump. I do believe you are correct. Yeah, Arizona's leaning Trump and probably going that way. I'd be surprised if it went any other way. New Mexico, still kind of shocking, but at the same time, not just because of Gary Johnson being the governor. New York. New York has been staunch Democrat for years as well, too. So, 168 to 131. They just bumped up a bunch of the candidates, a whole bunch of votes right now. Trump literally almost has a 2 million vote lead. He has a 1.98.9, roughly. Trump wins North Carolina. Virginia, North Carolina. They're projecting Trump at 50.7, Clinton at 46.5. So you can basically look at another 15 votes going to Trump. Georgia still is, I don't know. Georgia, you can basically call for Trump too. I know it's only about 50% voting, but he's got a fairly large lead that way. And Florida is going to be sitting there for a while, I think. I don't know. They've been sitting at that 95% for quite a while, and that makes me a little bit nervous. Little bit nervous there. So let's see what we got going on. Some people are saying 183 Trump to 131 Clinton. Where are we getting those results from there, Luis? Who did I vote for? I voted for Gary Johnson in my state, Minnesota. If I was in a battleground state and I had to pick to where I actually thought that my vote would sway one way or the other, I probably would have voted Trump, not because, and this is what's wrong with this election, is we're voting against people. We're presented the two realistic options, the Republicans and the Democrat this year, of a shitty, and I say shitty very lightly, because she is just awful. She is horrible. Hillary Clinton, and Trump, who's just an absolute idiot himself. I'm not a Trump supporter nor a Hillary supporter. I'm someone that my person Rand Paul has been out of this race for quite a while. Gary Johnson, I would ideally like to see him in there. Bill Weld is not the vice president I'd like to see the Libertarian Party pick. There's nothing we can do about it now. But Gary Johnson was my vote for president in Minnesota due to the fact that I'd like to see a third-party candidate reach 5% nationally to give them a little bit more exposure for next election. Let's see. Posting on Facebook quick. Come join the live stream. All right. We're good here. We got 33 watching. See you later, sight set on silver. Thanks, Asham. Ever since the RNP stole the election away from RP, I swear I'll never vote rep again until Cohen. Yeah, that's how I felt as well, Luis. This election is not about, and I've said this before, and I'll probably say it a million times by the night's end, it's an election on who is the least undesirable out of the two candidates for the Republicans and Democrats. So let's see. Is the audio and video okay for everything? They're still showing 167 Trump, 131 Clinton on CNN. 168 to 131 on Fox. Or, excuse me, CNN. No, this is Fox. Trump has now taken over a 2 million vote lead on the popular vote right now. Ron Paul wins, I'd be a happy man. I'm going to go run and grab my second beverage. If you guys find any other links, post them in the description, or not in the description, excuse me, in the comment section so I can check them out if you guys find anything else good there too. Number 2, Logan. Not those darn twist-offs either. Polaner Hefeweizen. Blake, nobody wants to see them. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Okay, we got an update 183 to 131 Trump now. I wish that they'd kind of would show what they updated last. Arizona is still looking Trump. Colorado, Clinton clinched, it looks like. Florida, they're still not calling it. Trump's got a 1.5% vote lead. Georgia is at 49%. Trump's got that. Iowa has gotten a little closer. 32% in, it looks like. Michigan, Trump still have a slight lead there. A little under 2%. Nevada is coming in, Trump with a large lead there. It's 1%, so way too early to call it there. New Hampshire is about 54%. Trump's got a 3% lead. Trump clinched North Carolina. Ohio is clinched by Trump. Clinton is leading in Pennsylvania by about 3.1%. Clinton took Virginia. And Trump is probably going to take Wisconsin. So, 183 to 131. CNN still hasn't updated. Let's see. The big club PSYOP is in the books. I remember how excited and stupid I was when we had the Republican Revolution back in the 90s. How did that work out? Dave, to be honest with you, I don't know because I was born in 88. I was not in politics back in the 90s to give you an example of what the atmosphere was. I guess it did not feel very good. Luis, if they call Florida and Georgia, it'll put him over 200. Hillary's in big trouble. I agree. I think that this is some type of a momentum staller for Trump because he is definitely doing better than I think a lot of people projected. We're still showing 183 to 131. Popular vote. Trump is pulling away at the popular vote, but I think one large area that is really going to swing quite a bit of votes is going to be California. So hold your horses, fellas, before we're calling anything, because we're looking at a pretty large swing of 55 that literally puts Hillary above where Donald Trump is at right now. Of course, you got to wait for that to happen, but we'll see. Yeah, I agree, Luis, that Ron Paul didn't exactly have the greatest cabinet surrounding him for a lot of it. He wasn't as aggressive. I think he tried staying positive for the most part. He started shooting back at the end, but by that point it was kind of too late. Callie will go Clinton. Yes. So we're hearing Google has got some results. Let's see. I'm going to refresh this. I kind of want to see some Fergus Falls stuff. So I apologize for pulling that up, but it doesn't look like anything is in yet. So we won't worry about it. Let's go to Google. (2016) election results. They do have Clinton at, or excuse me, Trump at 197 and Clinton at 131. Swing states, they called Florida is what that is. They called, but it's that 1%. They called Florida to Trump. Pennsylvania's kind of gotten a little bit closer too, but Clinton has that. Trump's basically taken Michigan, like I said. North Carolina's gone Trump. Virginia went Clinton. Colorado went Clinton. Ohio went Trump, which is big for him. Wisconsin's going Trump. Nevada's going Trump. New Hampshire went Trump. Thanks, Liam. I appreciate you tuning in for this. Fox has not updated any news yet on Florida, so let's click on that and see if we get anything. Gary Johnson been polling about that 2.2, 2.5% in a lot of states. These numbers just seem kind of low to me overall, but we'll see. Trump's gained a little bit of ground in Minnesota. He's back to 40. Iowa, Clinton's taken that. Wisconsin's looking Trump. Rahm Emanuel State went Clinton. Wisconsin's going to go Trump. Michigan is really close too, but it looks like that's going Trump. Utah, I still laugh about that a third party probably has as many, if not more, votes than Clinton. Let's take a look at this. Hi, Stylish. McMullen with almost as many votes as Clinton in Utah. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Not that it's a big state, but still. Will there be any hanging chads this year? I'm not sure what he means by that. Nothing in Washington yet. California's not showing. Trump, we're still 1%. Nothing in Alaska. Let's check on Google and see what we got going on here. Actually, you know what? Let's look at my man, Rand Paul. We got to go to all races because it wasn't exactly close for him. Let's check out Kentucky. Rand Paul, 99% reporting, 57% of the vote. So, congrats to Rand Paul, pulling out the expected victory. Not very many people return as much money to the state coffers as that guy, and I think Rand is a good representation of what a true senator is to his home state. So congrats. Oh, hang it, Chad's got it. Yep. Sorry. On the actual paper votes. $211 to $131. That's crazy. I did not think that Trump, well, he's going to be close, but where it's going to really hang up. Who do they just call for? Okay, so they put Florida in there. They called South Carolina. They called North Carolina. Yeah, I'm as shocked as you guys are. As I told my wife earlier, when you look at the map of the United States, of the Electoral College, on how a lot of it's broken down, you see a lot of red. But when you look at the numbers for the states compared to the blue state numbers, the Electoral College really equalizes the population compared to overall mass. And as you see, what just happened, Washington instantly went 100% to Clinton, and also California. They don't even give a percentage on it. It just straight gave it to him. So, bam, that's a 67 electoral vote boost right there for Clinton, putting her back in the race, down by 14 now. Trump only needs 54 more votes to win. Hawaii to Clinton. Yeah, that's another 4. Alaska's not showing anything yet, but I think that they're one of the last states to come in. Hillary still shows 202 on mine, so who's worth 7 votes? Let's look. Oh, Oregon. They must be updating that. Google shows 201 Trump, 190 Clinton. CNN is showing 190 Clinton to 171 Trump. Imagine that. What states are going to give Trump 54? Let's see. Let's take out the old calculator on that one. Wisconsin is going to give him 10. So 54 minus 10, that's leaving us at 44. Michigan is probably going to give him 16. Minus 16. We're down to 28 needed. Georgia is another 16. We're down to 12. 11 in Arizona. And 6 at Utah. That puts Trump at 275 votes. That would give him the presidency. That's insane. It really looks plausible unless numbers really change out of Utah, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, and Arizona, and Utah. If he wins those states where right now he has a sizable lead, but it's early in a lot of these states, Mr. Trump should be the next president, putting him at least at 275. I have absolutely no idea which way Alaska typically goes. That's only worth 3 votes. Mr. Orwell, 1984, yeah. Michigan hangs on Wayne County. Detroit, hardly any of that vote in. She'll take Wayne County, however, not by the margins Obama did. Therefore, is the chance Michigan may go Trump. Yeah, you're correct there. That's 16 votes. That would put him 9 behind without getting Michigan. But, actually, let's see. 4 from New Hampshire is looking good that way. Maine's gone. Brian Evans, are you from Alaska? Okay. Just go to go to Alaska every once in a while. So CNN is still hanging on. Somehow Trump went down to 171, Clinton to 190. When we go back to CNN, it shows key races: Arizona, Trump leading there; Georgia, Trump leading there; Nevada, Trump leading there; Ohio is clinched with Trump; Virginia clinched with Clinton; Colorado to Clinton; Iowa still in the air, getting a little bit closer, but Clinton leading there. That would be a steal. If Trump can pull off Iowa, that would be a steal for him. New Hampshire is probably going Trump. Pennsylvania going to Clinton. Wisconsin probably going Trump. Florida, as of right now, went to 96% reporting. Before it was at 95. They're showing the margin actually slimming a little bit to 1.4 lead. Michigan still at 49% reporting. Trump got a slight lead there. North Carolina going to Trump. And Utah, Trump is leading there. Asher Cincy, where do we know that Trump got Michigan? Nobody wants to say where they got it. All right. Let's take a closer look at Michigan. Michigan, Mississippi, and Missouri. So we're talking about Wayne County. Where is Wayne County? You'd think it'd be one of these that's not reported yet. Here, Oakland, Wayne. So right now, the percentage shows 58% of Wayne County being in. So over half, and sounds like from everyone else that Wayne County is the biggest one. Ohio, Detroit area, yeah, it must be. Pennsylvania's gotten a little bit closer. Where are we at on the popular vote? Gotten a little closer. Looks like they're updating it right now, actually, on the popular vote. Trump's still leading with about a 2.1, 2.2 million vote lead overall. Johnson's at a 2.569 million, so not bad. Jill Stein coming in fourth with 690,000, and McMullen with 181,000. I think Utah is pretty safe to call Trump when the third party candidate almost has more votes than Clinton. $216 on mine. Let's see what we got. Now they up Trump to 186. Google, I don't think updates on its own. Yeah, it is updating every 30 seconds. 201 to 197. Fox shows 222. Yeah, and it just up to 222. So who did they just call? They called Utah to Trump. Michigan, Missouri, Mississippi, and Ohio going Trump. When we put that leading indicator on, it does not look good for Miss Clinton. I never, you know what, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be giving me a hard time tomorrow because I was not projecting Trump to do this well at all. So we'll see. The night is still young. For them to actually call Florida for Trump is huge. They've still not called Florida. On CNN, they're showing what percentage is in. 96% is in. Hawaii, like we said before, has gone Clinton. From what other people say, Alaska is probably going to go Trump. Let's do some quick math here on where we are. For Clinton, she needs 68. So for where people are trending, let's start on the West Coast with Oregon. That is 7 votes. So 68 minus 7 puts us at 61. Then we move to Minnesota, minus another 10, minus another 6 for Iowa, minus 20 for Pennsylvania, minus 4 for Maine. That puts her at 249 votes, if my math is correct, where we are leaning right now, unless I'm missing something. Trump needs 48. So let's start again on the West Coast. Nevada looks like it's called. Well, it's not called. It's only at 1%, but 48 minus 6 minus 11 for Arizona, minus 10 for Wisconsin, minus 16 for Michigan, minus 16 for Georgia. And that does it. That puts them at 281, I believe. Yeah. So you can add another 4, so minus 4, and maybe another minus 3. That puts them at 288 electoral votes. Yeah, I don't know about California. It's one of those where it's gone just predominantly Democrat for such a long time to where you instantly write that off. If a Democrat did not carry California, it would be a landslide victory for the Republican that way. Let me just say that. Mississippi was called for Trump. Ohio was called for Trump as well, too. Let's see. Minnesota's gotten a little closer. Trump before was at like 40.2. Now he's at 41.7. Iowa is down to 1% difference at 44% in. 46.7 for Trump, 47.7 for Clinton. Where were we at before? I think Pennsylvania stayed fairly close. If Trump would pull off Pennsylvania, I think that you could call it after that, because the majority of the states are leaning pretty far Trump for the ones that he needs to win. NBC reporting Republicans won the House. Well, let's see. How do we go? Here we go. I wonder if they have Minnesota in here yet. It does not look like it. Let's click on that. As Otter Tail County. Otter Tail, predominantly, that's where I'm located. 62% Trump, 31% Hillary Clinton. I'm one of the 578 people in Otter Tail County that voted for Gary Johnson. Thanks, St. Louis Blues. I might have to check that out. So Hennepin County, I mean, that's Minneapolis. Minneapolis, St. Paul area, that's pretty normal for that to go Democrat. A large population there. Nicollet County went Hillary Clinton. Close Donald Trump right behind. Lake County and Cook County typically always go Democrat too in Minnesota. Lake of the Woods, nobody reporting there. Oh, another one just came in. When you look at Minnesota as a whole, you can tell where the urban areas are and the rural areas. Because when there's maybe 4 counties that go Democratic, but the majority of the state in the end goes that way, you can tell where the population is. Let's see. CNN still showing 187 Trump, 197 Hillary. Let's go back to federal. Back to the general. We're looking at 222 Trump, 202 Hillary. And Google showing 216 Trump, 197 Hillary. When we look at it that way, let's see if we have any results coming in for, oh, my areas. We are starting to show. Let's see. Pelican. Ottertail, Henning. Anthony Hicks, of course, ran unopposed. He got 98% of the vote. Ward 3 is not reporting yet. Looks like Tom Roofer is taking City Council, Ward 2. Jim Fish, the guy that beat me 4 years ago, looks like he's winning again too. It's just him against Ruth Rosengren. It looks like that one is done. Mayor, this one, no surprise to me. Ben Schreier is taking that with, it looks like, almost 5,000 total votes, which isn't bad for a town, a population 14,000. So I don't know why they're waiting on Ward 3, but let's get back to something that you guys actually care about. CNN is under Team Ohio 18, Trump 83%. 9 V, 99% in. I'm not sure what we're talking about here. Trump 187 to 197. Florida, we're still looking there. Oklahoma is Trump. Yes, overwhelmingly Trump. And what I thought was funny too, earlier in the week, they're talking about how all the early voting was just going drastically in Clinton's favor. Well, of course, the people that are actually worried per se are going to go out there and try to make the other people discouraged. And the early voters typically aren't always the ones that win. I think Texas is a good indicator of that, where Trump pulled off 52.2% compared to Clinton's 44%. Michigan, let's see where we're at. We're at 55%. Trump's lead is down to less than 1%. So let's check and see what's going on here. Sorry, I got people messaging me. So, Michigan. Wayne County, 70% is in there. So I think that increased from about 56 or 57% before up to 70. So that's probably where we saw the largest increase. LaPierre. Let's see. I think Comey stayed home tonight so he didn't get suicided. That's my thought. How do I exit so it's not showing? I don't want to see Florida anymore. Tennessee, Trump, 83% in. You are correct. We're at 85% actually. They're calling it that way. Showing Hillary's going to win Washington by Trump is almost up to 30K votes. That is odd. Maybe just depending on which precincts have already reported. Let's click on Washington and take a look at that once. I don't know how that works. Maybe the majority of the population, but not really. I wish it would kind of give you a projected population on some of these things, because that's a pretty major area that is not reported yet. Some fairly large counties. So Washington's a little too early to call. They must know something that we don't know yet. They straight up called Washington for Hillary. Arizona looks like it's still going Trump at 49.4. Nevada has changed. Imagine that. Now Clinton is up. Oh, Blake, why don't you come on here and do something exciting? That Nevada is kind of... There must have been some large county that was just counted. Let's see. Clark County, yeah, that's one of their major ones. Population there is pretty large, 283,219 voting that way. compared to in Elko County, 1,700 compared to 8,000 that way, basically. So back here, let's see what we got on Google. Google showing 216 to 197. U.S. Senate looking like Republicans are at 47. The House looks like it's going towards the Republicans too. So we sit and wait and enjoy a beer. When we put the leading indicator on, Minnesota goes, and actually Trump is still made up a little bit of ground in Minnesota, but Clinton appears, when you add up the totals, it's about 49%, so Clinton's probably going to be taking Minnesota actually fairly soon. They're showing Nevada being blue. So let's update some math here. Let's see where we're at. Let's start on the West Coast. Trump needs 48 still. So let's say 11. So 48 minus 11. They're showing Iowa is now going to Trump. So minus another 6, minus 10 for Wisconsin, minus 16 for Michigan. And if Trump takes Georgia, that puts them at 281. Plus New Hampshire is another 4, and Alaska is another 3. That's another 18. That's 288, even with Nevada going that way. So Iowa and Nevada is another wash, basically, with those two swapping. This is a little bit more, the Iowa is a little bit more of what I was expecting to see compared to where it's at right now. Prostjorg. So now we wait again, because we should, actually, the polls have been closed for about 30 minutes exactly on the West Coast. So we'll start seeing these numbers coming in a little bit sooner, sooner than later, I should say, on some of these. California, I mean, it's well known that Clinton was going to be taking California. Nevada was a little bit of a surprise. It looks like Wisconsin, yeah, they're at 66% reporting at 49 to 46. Let's see. One of the things in California, how much time? Blue Sardex, unfortunately, there is no time limits on this. I wish I knew when there's going to be a time, because then I could go to bed. House races. I wonder, does anybody have any links to any of the propositions in California? One thing that I know a ton of people were going to be asking about was marijuana, if recreational marijuana was going to be legalized or not. So if anybody has any links to that, I would appreciate it. Come on, Blake. Look at this face. Does it not look like I need all the beauty sleep I can get? Man, CNN is just hanging on as long as they can. And it sounds like it was legalized, okay? Marijuana passed in Florida too, so that's not that I smoke it myself, but I think that the smaller amount of things that the government can try to control in our lives, the better. Trump is caught up a little bit in Minnesota. Iowa has swung to about a 7% margin. Arizona's looking more and more like Trump. Let's check out Michigan, because I think now it's down to 0.5% difference in Michigan. And the big thing that we were looking at was Wayne County, I believe. We needed to see what percentage of Wayne County is in. And Wayne County is at 72%. Showing 238 Trump. So where are we getting these other 6? They must be projecting Iowa being the additional 6 votes that Trump would be getting. They called Iowa. That's news to Fox at this point. CNN is just refusing to update anything. Even when let's see. Breaking news, Hillary Clinton will win Oregon. Yeah, no duh. Everyone kind of knew that one was coming. Kentucky went to Trump. If we see Iowa, Michigan, Georgia, Arizona go red, I'm going to sleep. It's kind of neat watching stuff like this take place, because you think about it, this is things that your kids, the future generation of kids, are going to be watching. I agree with you, Blake. Literally, I was just talking about that we're watching history happen. So it's kind of, and I apologize if I've come out sounding biased towards Trump. Trump is not my person. I have no eggs in that basket towards Trump. He's not the person that I voted for, nor is the person that I want to be president. Hillary is just so the complete opposite of what I would want in a president. And so, again, this is the presidency where we're voting against people, not for people, and I hate that. So I apologize if I've come out sounding biased towards Trump. This is more of me just being slightly happy that Hillary is not the one in office. God, Blake. I don't endorse any comments that anybody makes in the comments section. I'm not going to moderate because I don't care. So Trump is up to 238 to 209 for Clinton. You are using your First Amendment, Blake. Very good. For a New Yorker, I'm surprised that you know about amendments, being you guys typically vote straight blue, but hey, you know what? Every once in a while, you're right. Blue Sardex, I have about 7 more years before I'm even eligible to run for president, nor would I ever want to be president. I don't want to tell you how to live your lives. I just want you to stay out of mine. but I enjoy it that you come and talk with me on my live stream. 40 people watching now, only 2 thumbs down. This is in reality my first live stream that I've done. I apologize about the glitches at the very beginning. It's taken actually, I mean, I've been on for an hour and a half, a little bit longer than an hour and a half, and after we got the audio glitches fixed, it's kind of all been a little smooth sailing from there. I agree with you, Dave. The lesser of two evils is not the route that I wanted to go. That's why I felt okay voting for Gary Johnson in Minnesota, because I wanted to advance the third party a little bit more compared to voting for Trump, where it's more of just a protest vote against Clinton, not giving her my vote. A vote for Gary Johnson is a vote for Gary Johnson. Nobody can take that away from you. Your vote doesn't magically change over to Trump if you vote Clinton. You vote for who you want to vote for. Dow Jones just dropped 600 points. Who do I want to win? Ron Paul. But he's not running. Hey Austin, thanks for joining. Yeah. Says the guy that got to be out on the Ravens football field holding the American flag for the pregame ceremony. I think that's pretty cool too. See, Austin knows what's going on. I told everyone yesterday, if you join the live stream, I expect for you to have some type of beverage with you for this. I myself have a Paulaner Hefeweizen beer. So, Trump's down to 32, Clinton at 61. Let's put this leading indicator back on. Thanks, Revolution. 32 is the magic number right now for Trump. Let's do Clinton first. Never want to say that again. Clinton needs 61. So 61 is her magic number. Oh, Blake. Thanks, Austin. So 61 minus 6 for Nevada. Minus 10 for Minnesota. Oh, wow. Pennsylvania's gotten even closer. We'll just say Clinton wins Pennsylvania. Minus 20 for Pennsylvania. Minus 4 for Maine. What am I missing? That puts Clinton at 249. Trump, on the other hand, needs 32 right now. Starting on the West Coast, we'll give him Arizona, even though that's gotten a little bit closer. So that's 11. Whoa. 32 minus 11. Minus 16. And actually, Trump's gained about another 0.4 of a percentage point on Clinton in Michigan to 47.9. So Wayne County must be getting a little bit closer. So minus 16 for Michigan. Trump just won Georgia, so minus another 16. That puts him in the driver's seat. Trump's got 254. He needs 16. If Trump wins Michigan or a combination of Alaska, Arizona, oof, that's gotten really close, in New Hampshire, and New Hampshire, he wins. New Hampshire, Arizona, Alaska, or Michigan on its own. And that puts him at that magical 270. Prost, Austin. Who's I going for? Well, you can say Ron Paul all you want, but he's not running this time. Rand was my guy this time around. He dropped out to protect his Senate seat. So after that, it was whoever's basically going to be the closest person to protect my personal liberties and your personal liberties. Trump, I don't know if he's going to be that person personally, but Hillary is probably the least likely to protect anything unless she can gain millions of dollars giving a speech about it. So we'll see. Yeah, I agree with you too. I think Rand dropped out a little bit too soon. If Donald Trump hits 270 electoral votes, he is the next president of the United States, unless some hanging chads get in the way. That is crazy. So 16. So honestly, the biggest, I think Michigan is one that needs to be watched. So let's check out Michigan. I'm with you there, Austin. Wayne County is at 75%. Oh, I have no idea. Lapeer County, what the population looks like there, or Gladwin, or Oscoda. Menominee as well. I don't know about that. Who thought Michigan was going to be the state that could potentially clinch it for Trump? Not me. They gave Trump is up to over 1% lead now in Michigan, but he has 40% of the vote left to be counted. I'm glad Brian knows, because I have no idea what it looks like that way in Michigan. Where are we at on the overall? Do you think that Clinton is actually going to accept this? She'll probably go around giving speeches about this anyway, and she'll charge $600,000 per speech. So, I'm trying to figure out what the overall difference is exactly of the popular vote. 48, 423, 037. Clinton's actually made it a little bit tighter than where she was before. It's about 1.5 million difference now. Oh, Ambrose. I'm in Minnesota. Because what her speeches are said, what she's saying in her speeches compared to what she says to the general public are completely different. If I have no problem with somebody going around selling their speeches to people that are willing to buy them, but what she says in the speeches, or what anyone would say in their speeches compared to what's said to the general public, needs to kind of go hand in hand and needs to be the same message. To one group of people, when they say, you know what, I want open borders because we're a global economy, but then to some people they say, you know, we're not going to build a wall, but we'll put a fence up. There might be a wall in some spots. It's double speak, and they're just trying to put their, I guess, trying to fit the group of people that they're giving the message to. They're trying to tailor that message to whatever that group of people want to hear. So that's my only issue. I don't care on if somebody goes around selling their product, and if their product is a speech, more power to them. But if they go around giving one set of speeches to the power bankers and then another set of speeches to the people that will vote for them, I find a little bit of hypocrisy that way. Do search online Clinton canceled celebration. I did see that one already. I saw that one was posted, I think, by the New York Post and then the Judge Report. Oh, where are we at? Clinton is climbed back a little bit, actually, in Arizona. Nevada is pulled apart a little bit more. Nevada, you can basically kind of call for Clinton, it looks like. The Republican Party needs a giant wake-up call after this election. Not that I consider myself a Republican per se. I'm more of a libertarian, leave me alone. I lean more Republican on many on many economic issues, but socially, I don't care as long as it doesn't affect me. You can do whatever you want to yourself. Do you think Trump will continue neocon foreign policy? What I think Trump will be if he wins is he will be a populist president, where he will kind of bend and be molded by whatever his cabinet has influenced him on. So if he does put together a decent cabinet of people from the left and the right, we might have a decent presidency from Trump. If he aligns himself with nothing but staunch, hardcore, right-wing conservatives, we're going to have another George Bush. If we have him aligning himself with a lot of other hardcore left liberals, we'll have another left hardcore president that way. So Trump is definitely one that could be molded into whatever his cabinet does have him surrounded with at that point. I bet he will not give out free checks like no Obama. You know what? I want somebody to pay my cell phone bill. My cell phone bill through Verizon is over, I think, like $165 a month. So if I can get an Obama phone, I'll take an Obama phone. I'm just kidding. People are messaging me. There's a meme. Here we go. I can show you without actually showing the name somehow. Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Give a man a welfare check, a free cell phone, and Section 8 housing, and he'll vote Democrat for life. I have a feeling, and I hope that the Democrats have realized, the black Democratic voters have realized that the past 8 years of Obama, they've been sold out. Have you seen a lot of issues been addressed for them? Have you seen their situation improve? Personally, I do not think so. I think Rand Paul actually would probably be a great president for race relations for the African American community. First of all, talking about just the discrepancy on on police, on black crime rates, and incarceration rates, on how black people are incarcerated for the same things that white people get away with a lot of times, just because they have better access to better defenders in the court system, better lawyers that way, and not necessarily having that prejudice against them too. So, Dave, that's one thing I hope Trump does get away from, which he won't, unfortunately, because they are one of the largest influencers in the United States public offices, and that is against the people in Israel. I mean, I really don't know how to put it other than that Benjamin Netanyahu has some large influential powers when it comes to U.S. politics, and I don't agree with it. They're one of our largest recipients of foreign aid, and I know a lot of people are going to come out and backlash against me on saying this, but we don't need to be protecting some tiny foreign strip of land overseas and giving them millions, if not billions of dollars of aid yearly, when we have people back home that could use that money for free school, free healthcare. There's so many more things that we could use that money for locally and statewide in Minnesota and federally, just for the whole United States, that if we took that money and kept it at the same tax rate, there'd be a lot of things taken care of stateside that I think a lot of people would appreciate a lot more than seeing some giant walls being built over in Israel. I agree, Dave. I'm going to run and grab another beverage. I will be right back. Coming in. Yeah, that's something I don't look forward to, revolution. Also wants to go into Iran. Trump wants to go into Iran. And that was just a question. I don't know. Trump's holding about a 1.5 million vote lead against Clinton. I doubt it, Andrew, but I hope so. Vikings need their offensive line to stop being a sieve. I have no idea about Judge Jeanine, but the number one person that I hope Donald Trump does give a job to is Judge Andrew Napolitano. I would not hold my breath, Blue Sardex. They are taking their time on Michigan. Gary Johnson looks like he's pulled in about 3.2 million votes, which is not as good as I'd like to see him do. Because what does that do percentage-wise? Percentage-wise, not much. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. Glad he tuned in. Thomas Jefferson, I doubt that is going to take place. We'll see how, and these are all hypotheticals, we'll see how much Trump drains the swamp, per se, as he likes to say, quote unquote. And Luis, I don't know if Clinton can be taken down in the Clinton Foundation part. I think that there's enough people that would be indicted in something that large scheme. I think that Watergate would look like a tiny creek at that point compared to what would be found in just the Clinton Foundation. They're never going to show the Michigan. I bet they do show Michigan. They'll have to at some point. I would love to see Manning and Snowden pardoned too. I think some of the things that they did for our personal liberties and just trying to wake up the masses on how much our government spies and knows everything about us. I mean, this phone right here listens nonstop. My wife and I can be talking about something. We can mention how we have a cold. We can mention that we need to go pick up paper towels. What do you think we see for advertisement when we're Googling something or when we're looking at something on ESPN or Amazon? Constantly on the left and right hand side, middle of the screen, you're seeing advertisements for cold medicine. You're seeing advertisements for Bounty Quicker Picker Upper towels. I mean, it's they literally have something listening to you 24/7, from your TV to your dishwasher. I'm not even joking. They have come out and admitted that. Hey, Austin. I saw that too, Brian. I got a good laugh out of that. Let's see. I voted for Gary Johnson. Trump is not my man. Clinton is not my lady. I live in Minnesota. It's a predominantly democratically won state since 1980s. I wasn't going to try to sway it one way or the other. I wanted Johnson to get my vote, not for him to win, but for the Libertarian Party and other third parties to have a chance to actually have their voices heard, because it's not very often that I'm going to align with the Republicans or the Democrats on a whole ton of issues. So I wanted other parties out there to have a chance to get some public funding and actually have their voices heard a little bit. Google showing 238, Fox showing 254, and CNN at 232 for Trump. 209 for Clinton, CNN, 209 for Fox, and 209 for Google. So it looks like we have some discrepancies when it comes to Trump, and everyone is on the same page when it comes to Clinton, sitting at 209. That's a given. Let's see, where are we at? Trump's got a 1.6% lead in Michigan, a 1.1% lead in New Hampshire, and a 3.6% lead in Arizona. You're right, St. Louis Blues. Thank you, Jörg. My family, my in-laws are from Frankfurt, and they are watching online right now, so hi, thank you. I'm sorry you had to get up so early to watch this boring stream, but it's kind of interesting to hear other perspectives too, because a lot of the people from Europe They have a very poor perception of Donald Trump, which is very true. He's not a positive candidate. He's very negative person. And a lot of the media has kind of spun Clinton to kind of being that sane person. So it's interesting to say the least. And Hannah, I appreciate you staying up and watching it too. It's fun to have discussion on a lot of stuff like this because, and I tried to explain it before, Trump is not my person, Clinton is not my person. I have least favorite and less favorite candidates, and that's all I got going on in this candidacy. Trump is a pig. I'm not going to disagree with that. Yeah, I don't know about Trump being honest either. Trump is he's very unfiltered. Honest is different. I think that he says whatever comes out of his brain without thinking about what he's saying. Austin, if I had to choose between the two candidates, I would probably go Trump. Not because I want to. I'm just scared to death of some of the things that Hillary could do. Let's see. Hillary is a traitor. Do you care to just explain a little bit more, Brian, on why you think she's a traitor? I mean, if it comes to Benghazi and stuff like that, I feel you there. I think that Benghazi was a travesty, and some of the thing is not good that way. So Johnson's the person I voted for too, Austin. Right. They're not updating anything very quick. Like Michigan is sitting at 64%. Arizona at 61. New Hampshire at 77. That's down to less than 1% difference too. Yeah, I know what you mean, Slowpoke. The Clinton death trail is pretty long. A lot of people suicided. That's why I shared that meme a couple days ago about why the FBI director, Comey, said, I don't always just ignore people that need to be indicted. But when I do, it's normally because I find my own suicide note in the Clinton email scandal. What time do I think the winner will be declared? Well, Michigan's sitting at 64, Arizona at 61. The thing that's kind of baffling, New Hampshire still sitting at 77. If Michigan ends in the next half hour, I'd say at that point, being he needs 16, that would put him exactly at 270. I saw somewhere too that Trump has some type of FBI investigation pending as well too. So I'd kind of like to look at that actually. Let's Google that. FBI investigating Donald Trump. What are we talking about here? No. Oh, gotcha. They were investigating Donald Trump when they thought that Russia was the people that actually hacked the Clinton server and email, stuff like that. One thing that a lot of people are bringing up too is that stock prices have been plummeting with Donald Trump surging in the polls. And I think that's to be expected. They're not sure what they're getting with Donald Trump compared to you have a fairly good idea on what you are going to be getting with Clinton. And thanks for tuning in, Luis. I appreciate you watching. It's getting late. I don't doubt a lot of people want to be going to sleep. Danke, Jörg. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? Now, if you guys are into gold and silver, wait a little bit longer. I think, mark my words on this. If Trump wins, precious metals are going to skyrocket because the dollar is going to start going down just due to the fact that our Dow Jones Industrial and other NASDAQ and other stocks are going to be going down too. Silver, just like Dave said, silver is going up. Precious metals, the value is going to be increasing as well too. It's a good time to buy if you can get in low. Don't buy in when it goes super high because everything right now is just a yo-yo effect. It's all the repercussions of Trump potentially getting in and Hillary not getting in. Everything will level out. The sun will rise tomorrow, believe it or not, if Trump or Hillary wins. Michigan is at 64%. Arizona at 61%. New Hampshire at 77%. Trump looks like he's kind of maxed out in Minnesota at about 43.1%. Clinton took Minnesota at 49.1%. No results whatsoever for Alaska yet. I think Alaska is about 3 hours behind, roughly. Sad that I don't know that. Trump is slightly ahead in Pennsylvania. Wow. Trump has pulled ahead in Pennsylvania. It's at 90%. If Trump wins Pennsylvania or Michigan, that is it. CNN has Trump at 238 with roughly 48.3% of the overall votes. Clinton at 47.2%. 51,061,310 popular vote for Trump. 49,895,788 for Clinton. If Hillary wins, the human race will be extinct and the lizard people will erupt from the mantle of the earth. Yeah, I don't know about that. You're watching too many Gerald Celente videos, I think. Or whoever that person was that talked about Hillary being a lizard person. Pennsylvania going Trump would be crazy. Trump is probably a straight shooter, but God, I don't know. Fox News looks like it is frozen. Let's see what happens when we refresh. Fox projects Trump wins Florida, North Carolina. Who else? I can't see. Ohio, Wisconsin, Iowa. Florida's at 98%. They projected Trump. Wow. Okay. There's a 1.7% difference now in Michigan with Trump leading that way. And now they removed... It's down to a 0.2% difference in Michigan. Or, excuse me, in Pennsylvania. Hey, California makes good wine, Sheriff. Just kidding. So the magic number for Trump is 16. Clinton is at 61. as of right now, Clinton, let's see, 61 is her magic number, -6 for Nevada, 10 for Minnesota, 4 for Maine, she's not going to hit it, that way at least. There are no new updates. Unless, what are we missing? Google shows 244, Fox News 254, and CNN at 238, Trump. I agree with you, Brian. I think a lot of these, Trump is not going to be the answer to all the issues on a lot of things, even if he gets in. People talk a huge game going in. Obama talked an amazing game back in 2004 and 2008 when he ran the first time, and he really ran on a transparency, just being very open and honest with the public. Obama sounded a lot like Ron Paul in a lot of aspects of what he talked about, on where he wanted to have kind of, on the law enforcement side, he wanted smaller, less demilitarized police. He wanted more public relations, less government in on a lot of things. Of course, we know how that ended up. Obama wasn't as bad, I think, on a lot of things. He was more of a lame duck president these last couple of years. His biggest downfall is going to be Obamacare. And that, to me, is the biggest issue that is affecting me personally, is Obamacare. My healthcare premiums are going to be doubling from where they were this last year to nearly $400 a month. Is a single 28-year-old healthy male. My wife's premiums almost up to $500 a month for healthcare. And she's very healthy too. To me, that's the biggest issue, is I want to find someone that is going to get the healthcare market back to where it needs to be. The health insurance companies and doctors need to work together to figure out a plan, whether it's fully privatized again, and there's a pool to where the people that aren't able to get coverage can get into it. Yes, it's going to cost a little more, but no one will be denied. I don't know what they're going to do. This is a tricky subject, but honestly, the healthcare issue to me is the number one issue that I think needs to be addressed in the next 4 years. It needs to be addressed right now, actually, but realistically, it's going to take a long time to get this ironed out. What are your guys' biggest issues? The Canadian plan isn't bad, but it just sucks in the boom towns. When you say the boom towns, do you mean like the towns that are just growing exponentially, or what are you saying specifically? The Federal Reserve is one too. Look at the last president that tried to audit and or get rid of the Federal Reserve. How'd that work for JFK? right, so Trump's still at 254. What we need to realize is that if we went back to the gold standard, there would be a giant bubble that would pop. Fiat currency would absolutely just demolish so many people economically that you'd have to do this slowly and at a rate that it wouldn't cause catastrophic losses for everyone. If Hillary wins, I'm moving to Sunnyvale Trailer Park. I honestly don't think Trump will do anything about the Fed. I agree with you both. I don't think Trump's going to do a whole lot about the Federal Reserve. He might talk a big game, but I think once some of the people in his cabinet, which will be neocons, start talking to him and kind of persuading him away from doing anything with the Federal Reserve, he's not going to touch that subject. Michigan is still reporting 70%, so it's increasing. Clinton has closed the gap to a 0.7% difference. Trump has increased his lead ever so slightly to a 0.3% lead in Pennsylvania. Flat tax, I'm completely fine with the flat tax, but I want it to be consumption tax. I don't want it to be on my income. I want it to be on things that I purchase. Germany has a VAT tax of, I believe, about a 19% VAT tax on everything that they purchase. There might be certain things that are excluded. I just like knowing a complete flat rate on what I'm going to be purchasing. So consumption taxes are something that I'm fine with because it all then varies on the amount of things that you consume is the amount that you put back into the system. If you're somebody that just earns money, and just sits there and bottles it all up and kind of stores it, I don't think that you need to be paying such an exorbitant rate on taxes. Are you helping the economy as much? No, because you're not going out and spending it. But that's your right as a citizen to not contribute as much if you don't want to. You can't expect a lot of things out of it then, but at the same time, there are people that go out there, they work hard, they make a good living, they purchase expensive things, they provide jobs for people to provide these expensive things, and the world goes around. Oh, we're kind of in that standstill where there's no updates. CNN still shows 238 Trump, 209 Clinton. Fox is at 254 Trump, 209 Clinton. Google 244 to 209. Let's refresh that too. 244, 209. Republicans are close to taking the majority in the Senate and need one more in the House. Wow. To take the majority in the House. That is kind of scary, to be honest. I don't know if I'd want a completely Republican-owned Senate and House. I'd like there to be some checks and balances, at least. They're doing some updates right now. It looks like Trump has a, not even, 1.13 million popular vote advantage right now over Clinton. So that's narrowing. But my prediction that Trump would win the popular vote is still correct. I don't know about Clinton winning by 32 anymore. How that's going to go. Yeah, I agree with you, Dave and Boat. It all depends on if these people choose to kick the can down the road farther than it is on a lot of issues that need to be addressed. We have so many unfunded liabilities that both parties are responsible for because nobody wants to be the group that takes responsibility for this and says, this is how we're going to fix it. It's going to be painful as hell for the American people. And they want to get reelected. So they're going to lie, they're going to move it down the road, and they're going to make it so it's the next generation's problem, not theirs. Oh, yeah. Michigan is still at 71%. That's exactly it, Boat. Nobody wants to hold on to that potato very long. Wayne County, 83% in. 15% in Washna. Be interesting to see which state Gary Johnson did the best in. If I was a betting man, I'd probably say New Mexico. And what percentage did Gary Johnson take? 9.3. He did not win any counties. Tie right now in Pennsylvania. 48.2, 48.2. Trump does have about a 2,000 vote lead. Pennsylvania has gone back and forth from Clinton to Trump, and it's down to 92% in. Revolution Now, do you have a source that shows Trump winning Pennsylvania? Because if you have a source showing Trump won Pennsylvania, the game's over. Wow. Pennsylvania is down to 2,000 votes. Gary Johnson sold out. I think the Libertarian Party didn't do the greatest thing. What's going on here? Why are we going? There we go. Montana. So Nevada went Clinton. Utah's Trump. The remaining states that aren't done yet. minus Minnesota. What are we missing here? Look like the majority of them are going Trump. But we will have to just wait and see. Because Michigan is being a pain in the ass. And not updating anything. Or even Arizona and New Hampshire and Alaska. Alaska doesn't even have... How crazy would that be if it came down to Alaska being the deciding vote? That would be nuts. Oh, where are we at? Trump is holding an ever so slight lead at 52,161,676 to 51,025,880. That lead has decreased quite a bit because I think he was at almost 2 million at one point over Clinton. From what I thought I heard earlier, was that people were expecting about 140 million projected voters this time around. And my Fergus Falls math has this at about 106 to 107 million right now, which is a little under, I think, what they're projecting. Trump's got a 0.7% lead in Michigan and a dead heat in Pennsylvania. Man, look at that. Dow Jones way down, S&P down, NASDAQ down. That's nuts. Not a good time to retire. I just think it's weird. I still feel like this is some type of a live action, I don't know, reality show. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Two people that I would have never projected at this point 2 years ago would have been the final two people running for the presidency. You did get a phone though, Brian. Fox News alert. I wish somebody would come up with an alert. Nobody wants to move. $238, $209. Trump is up now by 0.8 in Michigan. Dead heat in Pennsylvania. To me, it looks like All the other states, they would have locked it up already. But Arizona, they're not giving to Trump yet. Power station explosion. Wow. I was just told that the Japanese stock market is down about 5% as well. There's going to be a lot of money lost and a lot of money made probably in the next couple weeks while everything calms down. I just feel sorry for the people that are going to be losing money on this. Japan beats up their gangsters. I've never met a Japanese gangster before. Serge Tankian. Popular votes moving, but no percentage points are moving. 47.9, okay. They have Trump up a full 1% now in Michigan. And they have, Pennsylvania now is 0.1% difference in Pennsylvania. Brexit was something that might not even happen now. Nigel Farage was talking a couple days ago about how Parliament doesn't even want to take the vote and they want to actually keep everyone in where they are. So that'll be another interesting thing to kind of keep your eye on. 244 to 215. 238 to 215. 254 to 215. Sounds like Clinton's got 215. And some places are trying to call it a little bit earlier than others. Let's look at local election results. Google. How about that? Fergus Falls, Minnesota election results. Let's look at this. Ugh, I'm not going to look at that. Ottertail County, here we go. School board. Ooh. Looks like Mr. Lemke took it with 17. Steven Vigasa at 13. And Natalie Knutson at 13. I believe that it was just 3. Wow. That switched some stuff up because I believe Tara Carlson, Jeff Horman, and Lemke were the incumbents. So let's see here. Let's look back at the city. Fergus Falls, my new mayor, Ben Schreier, Mr. Jim Fish, my new city councilman, Tom Roofer, wow, Brent Thompson, beat Wayne Hurley, Anthony Hicks ran unopposed, of course. All right. And I just want to quickly look at the state. State Senator, we have a new one at Paul Utke, Bill Ingripstern, Steve Green, Bud Norris, he's my state representative, and Mary Franzen. Republicans across the board won that. There's still nothing changing. How is Pennsylvania and Michigan? Let's look. Trump holds a 0.9% lead in Michigan with 75% of the vote in. Trump holds a 0.5% lead in Pennsylvania and 93% of the vote is in. It's getting close, honestly. That 93%, but it's so dang close in Pennsylvania. It could go either way. They're looking at a difference of about 25,000 some odd votes in Pennsylvania for Trump right now. So it is tight right now. But the crazy part is you look at the map and you see the majority of states are red. And a lot of people are saying that, you know, we need to get away from the Electoral College. I don't know about that, Luis. And I don't know what the right answer is to that. Do we need to get away from the Electoral College? Do we need to go on the popular vote? Do we need to go to some other type of system that other countries have? I don't know. We'll see. Brian, here's even a different question for you to answer. Is how many people that voted today will be dead tomorrow? How about that? Just kidding. It's a Clinton joke. Michigan's at 75. Pennsylvania is at 93. Oh, they just updated this. Let's see. Michigan is at 75% now. Clinton at 47. Trump at 47.9. $47.9. To me, it literally just comes down to two. Hershey County, all Republicans. Hershey County, is that in Michigan or Pennsylvania? That was a dumb question. That's in Pennsylvania. I don't even need to ask that one out loud. But I'm live, so there's nothing I can do about it. Where is Hershey County here? Oh, by Pitts. That will help me a lot. Yeah. Pennsylvania is now a 0.5% difference. %75 for Michigan, 93% in Pennsylvania. Arizona is at 65%. Donald Trump holds a slight popular vote lead of a little over 1 million people. CNN showing 238 Trump, 215 Clinton. Fox is showing 254 Trump, 215 Clinton. And Google is showing 244, 215 Clinton. 215 for Clinton seems pretty across the board. And there's no update in sight. Come on. Rand Paul, another senator from Kentucky. Some friends are posting on Facebook, whatever the outcome, I say we make America waffles again. You know you love breakfast. In other news, we can all smoke weed in California now. A lot of people, it looks like, are surprised, as I am. A lot of crying Democrats. Huh. You can smoke weed in California. All right. I've bored 5 people to sleep We're down to 27. Trump's at 53.3 million. Hillary's at 52.1. Michigan is just not moving. Nor is Arizona. Trump has a 0.6% lead in Pennsylvania, and that is up to 95% actually now. I know. The thing is either way, if Clinton would have won the election or if Trump wins this election, there's a reason why we vote in senators and congressmen is because they're supposed to be the checks and balances between us and the president. And if we elect the correct people at the state level, we shouldn't have to worry about what the president can or will try to do. So we'll see how it goes. Ninja Dude Gaming. Well, this is it, guys. Donald Trump is about to be president. Well, I'm moving to Toronto. Anyone want to join me? Neverland says, do you think Julian Assange will be allowed back to the U.S. free of charge if Trump is in? No. I think Trump will be horrible for our civil liberties when it comes to privacy. I don't think Trump is going to be one that's going to be standing up for any of your First Amendment rights, Fifth Amendment rights, anything else to where it has to do with your ability to keep the government the heck away from you. That's just my thoughts, though. We'll see with the whole WikiLeaks thing, what comes out of that in the end. So far, a whole lot of nothing when it comes to actually the media. Michigan is up to... Whoa, what's going on here? I just saw somebody at 95. Pennsylvania is up to 95%, with Trump at a 0.6% lead, roughly a 35,000 vote, roughly, lead for Trump. Minnesota's closed the gap a little bit, not much. Pretty low percentage of people actually showing up and voting. About 2 of our 12 million people in the state of Minnesota have voted. I can't wait to see all the celebrities move out of the country. $238, $215 Trump. 254, 215 Trump. 244, 215 Trump. I don't know if I'm leaning more and more that Donald Trump is not the final answer to the Ron Paul movement, just due to the fact that I don't see Trump being the person that's going to be protecting our civil liberties on so many different issues. So I don't know. Donald Trump is not the answer to a lot of our questions here. Not saying he's as bad as Clinton, but let's do this again. No, I'm with you there, Slowpoke. I'll take a Donald Trump over a Hillary Clinton. That's like saying I'll take gout over chlamydia, though. Neither of them are very pleasurable. .6% difference in Pennsylvania. You get my point. I just wish they'd call these states that aren't even close. Like right now, Trump is in Arizona. If this was any other state that wasn't so early, they would have called that state already. That's 11 votes. Alaska's nothing. What's the benefits of Trump's free trade negotiations? Free trade typically will get you some of your best deals per se on imports and exports if you can sign deals with certain countries that you'll give them exclusive deals for X product at that point. Let's see, what was the question? Are there any numbers for Johnson and Stein as well that you can pull up? Yes, kind of. On a state-by-state basis, I can kind of show you. Let's see. If we look at all races, Alabama, 2.1% Johnson, 0.5% Stein. Alaska, no reporting yet. Arizona, 3.8% Johnson, 1.1 Stein. Arkansas, 2.6 Johnson, 0.8 Stein. California, 3.2% Johnson, 1.3 Stein. Colorado, 4.7 Johnson, 1.1 Stein. In Connecticut, 3.1 Johnson, 1.4 Stein. 3.3 Johnson, 1.4 Stein. District of Columbia, 1.6 Johnson, 1.4 Stein. Florida, 2.2 Johnson, 0.7 Stein. Georgia, 3.1 Johnson, no Stein. Hawaii, nobody but Clinton took it, I guess. Idaho, Johnson 3.7, Stein 1.1. Illinois, Johnson 3.8, Stein 1.4. Indiana, Johnson 4.9. Let's see, Iowa 3.7 Johnson, 0.7 Stein. Kansas 4.5 Johnson, 2% Stein. Kentucky 2.8 Johnson, 0.7 Stein. Louisiana 1.9 Johnson, 0.7 Stein. 5% Johnson, 1.9 Stein. Maryland 2.9 Johnson, 1.3 Stein. Massachusetts 4.4 Johnson, 1.5 Stein. Michigan 3.7 Johnson, 1.1 Stein. Minnesota 3.8, that's part of me, for Johnson, and 1.3 Stein. Mississippi, who's T-Carp? Keep smoking that weed. Anyway, you guys catch the drift. Johnson's looking anywhere in that 4 to 5%. Pennsylvania is at 95% still. 4.8 Trump, 48.6, excuse me, Trump, 47.8 Clinton. My phone is dying. People are switching groups that I'm in on Facebook. Change the name of the group. Rand Paul 2020 Clear Vision for America to Rand Paul 2024 Clear Vision for America. God. We're not even done with 2016 yet. %96 Trump, excuse me, 96% in. We're at 65 Arizona, 77 in Michigan. Nothing new. Right, Rune? 238 Trump, 215 Clinton for CNN. 254 Trump, 215 Clinton for Fox. And 244 Trump, 215 Clinton for Google. How can we get Trump out of the Fed? You have to surround him with the correct cabinet members if Trump wins. If you can get some like-minded people in there, like Judge Napolitano, just other smart, liberty-minded people in his cabinet, you have a chance to do that. Trump has about a 1.2, almost 1.3 million popular vote win or lead right now. Ron Paul to head the Federal Reserve. You think he'd want to retire after he took that job? The Supreme Court for sure. I think Judge Napolitano should be on the Supreme Court, but that's just me. 96 Pennsylvania, 77 Michigan, 65 Arizona, and they switched New Hampshire over to Clinton. I agree. And Judge Knapp's a pretty cool dude. So let's do some quick math here for trendings. Where we're at. Clinton needs 55. 55 is the magic number. Minnesota is the most western state. That's -10. And then we have New Hampshire worth 4. Maine is worth an additional 4. That leaves her 37 short. 37 short. Trump needs 16. I think we can do the math. Michigan is 16. Pennsylvania is 20. Arizona is 11. Trump doesn't need that many more. Media has been so anti-Trump over here, it's not even funny. I agree. You know what? The media is very anti-Trump almost everywhere, and I'm not trying to protect Trump whatsoever because he has done a lot of this to himself, and he deserves a lot of the scrutiny that's been going on with Trump. He is not a very positive person, and he's very hard to defend because he is very unfiltered. And he says at the time what he thinks. So it's very hard to defend Trump that way. Oh, what do we got going on here? Who do I think is going to win? Trump. I think, just by looking at these numbers, I do think Trump will probably pull it off. Michigan alone puts him there. It's at 77%. He has a 1.2% lead, a little bit more than that. A 0.8% lead in Pennsylvania. I don't know. I mean, it's Pennsylvania alone is the one I think that's going to clinch it for Trump. We'll see. And it looks like that's the number one thing that they're looking at right now, too, on Fox, is Pennsylvania. Just because it's so close. I agree. I don't believe that Trump or Clinton deserve to have the presidency. There's many other better candidates out there that should have and could have been the people in this situation instead of Trump and Clinton. They are both assholes. Why do they keep saying these Fox News alerts, but there's nothing actually that's being told? They keep going back to... I agree. I think Iraq would have done less damage than both these two. No. No, I do not believe Trump will go after Wall Street. You are correct, Luis. Austin, I can't even say your last name. It looks like Belevu. %97 right now. This is too dang close. Pennsylvania is tight. It appears as if Trump is taking Arizona, but they haven't updated that. Michigan is still close. A 1.7% lead there. And what happened with New Hampshire? New Hampshire still very close too, less than 1% difference there. Trump just dropped to $1 in betting sites. So what does that mean, Neverland? Does that mean that his odds are increasing of becoming president? I'm not much of a gambler, so I don't know how that works. Brian Evans, to be honest, on the email thing, a lot of that can be done with auto search, to where basically you can click a certain hotkey function and you can type in certain words. And if you search for certain words that you're looking for specifically, you can find them fairly quick. But I would guess a couple weeks. Projecting, come on, I just wish they would get this done. Update. Let's see. If it was 10 to you and 10 to 1, you'd get your $10 back. Wow, okay. Trump 244, Clinton 215. Trump 254, Hillary Clinton 215. And 244 to 215. Watching this little tiny Fox News thing on the right makes me a little sick. Karl Rove is on the screen. Ugh. I think I'll be up until 12:30, and if I don't have any updates from there, I think I got a call tonight. Wow. Good time to put some money on Hillary, huh? God, Austin. I'll be right back. Oh, no new updates, huh? I think ammo would have been another big thing. Capta. The guns are out there. I mean, that's something that will always be there, and it'll be very hard for anyone to ever stop the guns being there. But it's the ammo supply is the biggest thing that they can control now, whether it's cost or just purely supply of the certain ammo out there. So I think that's a little bit of a different kind of thing they can control. Hit it, no name. Apparently, Monica Lewinsky isn't voting for Hillary. Oh, God. God. Probably. We're at 81% in Michigan, 97% in Pennsylvania. Oh, God, 85 in New Hampshire, which is close, and 65 in Arizona. And my phone is dying. I wish I had a charger in here. That Satan II is a very large missile, too. Putin, I don't want to say Putin's this great, fantastic person. I think that he definitely has his points on certain subjects, and there's certain things where he's probably I don't even know how you'd say it, but manipulating some things to make him sound not so bad. 97%. In Pennsylvania. And stuck at 65% in Arizona. I don't know what Arizona is doing, whether they're sleeping or and Joe Arpaio is holding them hostage. We'll see. I'm hoping we get some answers in the next 12 minutes because I am hitting the hay. I got to get up in the morning. And I'll have a new president when I wake up. Yay. Anybody have any other sources out there with different numbers than what I've got? I've got 244 Trump, 215 Clinton and CNN, 244, 215 in Google, and 254, 215. Yeah, we'll find out, Air. CBC 244 to 210 for Trump. In HD, do you have any links to those gun control laws? Go Hillary, huh? I'm trying to look at the updates on Fox, but they're not giving a whole lot. I don't think Johnson hit 5% nationally. Yeah, let's take a look at that actually. The House and Senate. Oh, how do we do this? So the Senate is at 48-47 with Republicans there. House 226 to 162. So the House is going to the Republicans. The Senate is close there too. Let's see what the Senate races are. Well, they're projecting Trump at 53.4 for Alaska. Man, New Hampshire's close. New Hampshire's about 415 votes. Pennsylvania might clinch it for him. 97%, 48.7, 47.7 for Trump. %, reporting in Michigan. Trump has a 1.8% lead over Clinton in Michigan, which does not surprise me after he talked about how if he is president, he will keep the auto companies and auto industry in Michigan, which is one of their larger industries in the state. Thanks, here. I'll make sure I don't put that 666 on my forehead. $100? Trump's up to 44.8, almost 45% in Minnesota. Hey, you're telling me, Brian. It's almost 12:30 my time. God, I have no idea. I'm hoping. I mean, Minnesota's at 85. That one's basically called. It's almost a 3% difference there. I don't know how they're not calling Michigan yet. It's at 81%, and it's almost a 2% difference there. They called Florida at a bigger or a smaller discrepancy. To me, Arizona is another no-brainer. The only real battlegrounds left is New Hampshire. Oh, you know what they did? They gave, well, Maine switched. It was 4 votes, but it looks like 3 of them split off. They're going to Hillary for sure, and there's a 1/4 and final electoral vote that's not been decided yet, so that could pull one. But I don't know how they're not calling Michigan yet. They call it for Michigan, it's done. Trump's at 270. Compared to Pennsylvania, where that's pretty close. But that's a full 1% difference right now. That's at Clinton got 2.764959, where Trump's got 2.823741. Pretty big difference there. Speaker Paul Ryan calls to congratulate Trump. That's what they're playing right now on Fox News. That's pretty ballsy, considering they haven't announced him as the victor yet. God, I hate Karl Rove. Yeah. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get to see the announcement because it is 12:30. I appreciate you guys staying up and spending, God, 3.5 hours with me tonight. It was fun. I'll definitely have to do another live stream in the next few days, talking about the election results and kind of going from there. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section down below. I will check it out tomorrow, or I should say today, when I get up in the morning, and we'll see what we have and who we have as our next president of the United States. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys taking the time to ask some questions and keep it entertaining too. So you guys have a good night, and we will talk to you guys soon. As long as I can figure out how we exit out of this. But I think I figured it out. I'm just going to take one last look on here and see what we got. Let's see. Yeah, I might have to. No, just kidding. I gotta figure it out. I just need to close out of a couple other things quick.